Hey guys, thank you for visiting my channel. Hey guys, thank you for visiting my channel where I'm talking about everything involving faith, life, and career. If you like this video, click like below, subscribe. I'm gonna have some more fun stuff coming up, some more stuff about Christianity and faith and just my testimony and little life lessons I've learned in that walk. It's gonna be so many different things. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, and here we go. So this one is a tough one too. It's funny, the last few subjects that I posted regarding faith have been pretty tough. But you know, it's been on my mind to just post this, and this is what I do. So just disclaimer, before I post anything about faith, I seek the Lord to find out if this is something that He would want me to post. And I kind of ponder on it, which is the reason why I haven't been posting so many, because I try to pray on it, and then if it sticks to my mind and my gut, something's just like, this is something that you need to post, then I post. Because you know, we always have to kind of check our hearts. You know, what are our motives? Like, of course I want a big YouTube channel and, you know, get endorsed and all that type of stuff, but I don't want to post my videos about faith and my testimony to get that. You know what I mean? It's not, I don't want to say, oh, that's a good thing to talk about, I'm going to throw it out there. That's not what this is about. This is really about me seeking my heart and the Lord guiding me to say, you should say this to the masses of people. Maybe there's somebody that would watch my video who will receive, you know, a blessing from it, or maybe it will get them to think or get closer to God. So that's the goal of like my faith topics here in this video, just to get the word out, just to share my experience and my testimony and help whoever I can help. And you know, so y'all don't have to go through it, I went through it. So why should we obey God? And then why are we afraid to obey God? Now, these should kind of be no-brainers, especially the question of, you know, why do we obey? Why should we obey God? Especially with those who've been walking with the Lord for quite some time. You know, it's funny, it's a no-brainer question, but so many of us fall into disobedience, even those who've been with the Lord a long time. And honestly, I feel like it's kind of easier for us to fall into disobedience with certain things when you've been walking for a long time, because you lose certain habits that you had before, like staying in the Word and praying, or maybe you get tired, or certain things happen that discourages you. I would say discouragement is a big catalyst that the enemy uses to get you to fall out of it, but I'm going ahead of myself. So the first question is, why obey God? Okay, again, sounds like a no-brainer, especially if you're a Christian, but let's dig deeper into that, because a lot of Christians are going another way. A lot of Christians are going into false doctrine, doing other things, and that is disobedient to God. So let's get back to basics. Why are we obeying God? So the first reason would be is because He sent His Son to die for us so that we may live, that so after we die we have a shot of getting back to heaven. That's the first and biggest reason why we should obey God and stay within His will, right? Another one would be comes from the verse Jeremiah 29:11, which a lot of us probably know, and that is, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. That's a great reason to follow the Lord. It's a more positive reinforcement reason to follow the Lord, right? And then another verse that came to mind was this one. This one's a little more, you know, stern, okay? But it's in the Bible. We have to learn how to take both the prosperous verses and the ones that are just like, yo, you need to pay attention, right? So this one is 1 Samuel 15:23. For rebellion is like the sin of divination, which is like a form of witchcraft, and arrogance like the evil of idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of the Lord, He has rejected you as king. That's tough, right? And rebellion is like witchcraft, because in witchcraft you are using your own power per se to persuade an outcome, right? So this is the reason why we have to be a little careful with vision boards and the manifestation idea. And I know God says the power of life and death is through the tongue. That's, we use that verse a lot to try to manifest. I don't think that's how he meant it, really. Because at the end of the day, God is sovereign and he has a plan and a path for us to walk on. The steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord, right? So there's a balance between that. It's okay to say, God, I pray for something. Let's just say you're praying for your business. You start a business. I started a business. So I'm praying, saying, Lord, please breathe on my business in an X amount of way, if it be your will, right? So I'm like, I need this to be done in X amount of way, X amount of time, so that my business can be successful. But what you do is you set it on his altar and you leave it up to his will, right? So you're still respecting the sovereign of God. And that all falls into obedience too. I'm realizing that I'm getting really, this is deeper than what I'm going to get into this video, or maybe I'll do kind of a part 2 about it. But that one verse alone is a really, really big warning. And it says, and arrogant, like the evil of idolatry. Right? So that also falls into idolatry, like witchcraft and divination, and like it's a lot about yourself, your control, how you want things to happen based on whatever laws of they claim the universe or things like that. In Christianity, that's not something that we do. Everything is up to the Lord. We have free will, but the free will should be based on a mindset of God, based on having the armor of God. So we have God at the top, and we are to submit our free will under the Lord, right? Trust in the Lord in all thy heart, but trust in the Lord in all thy heart, and lean not on thy own understanding, but in all ways submit, and he will set your path straight, right? So you're trusting in him, you're leaning on his understanding, not your understanding. So he can set your path straight, but you're bringing your mind into submission to lean on his understanding, right? So I went a little bit off the path of, the straightforward question of why we obey, but it is a big answer because God is a big God, right? And it's a little bit of, hey, you're going to have your best life if you follow the Lord. And if you don't, you're putting yourself in a really compromising position with him. So my experience, I had a recent experience where I legit disobeyed God, disobeyed the Lord, knew I was out of obedience. And it wasn't because I was angry or it wasn't the typical, it came very sneakily, okay? And the enemy is just working in a crazy way. So maybe I'm gonna say, I'm gonna get into the second question, and then I'm gonna get into my story after that. So the second question is, why are we afraid to obey? All right. So if we know all these things, if we know there's a consequence, but then we know there's a reward, and we're knowledgeable in that, why are we afraid to do it? Okay. And I think that, say you're advising a friend of yours who's Christian and they want to go off the beaten path. I think a lot of us would say, oh, you have to obey the Lord. Like, I'm praying for your salvation. Obey him. But we have to understand that not everybody has the same mindset. I'm definitely an analyzer, right? I analyze everything. And if I see certain options in front of me and I weigh the options out, this is where I start getting into that, my own understanding, right? So I'm an own understanding victim. Blair, I have to always keep my mind in submission with certain things. As I grew as a Christian, a lot of the stuff that was challenges, they're not challenges to me anymore, right? I have my own little challenges now, and thank God it's narrowing down, but these challenges are like the end levels, like the last levels of the video game, right? They're big because I've grown. I've gotten all my points. I've gone through the game. I've gotten my strength, and now I'm meeting like the big bosses, right? So it's a daily thing. I'm up praying in the morning with the prayer group. I'm praying outside of the prayer group. I'm reading at night. I'm reading it in the morning. You know, it's going to require more work on your behalf, right? To stay within this obedience. So when we're advising our friends or whoever to stay within obedience, recognize who you're talking to, because a lot of times I feel like people don't obey because of you're getting tired, or you're afraid to because of the work it's going to require for you to continue on. Like I can name 2 people in the Bible that kind of had that attitude. It was Job, and I wrote it down. Who else was it? Right on the tip of my tongue. Oh, the prodigal son, of course. God's like, oh, I need you to go to Nineveh. And he's like, no, I'm not going there because, you know, I don't like those people. And, you know, he just wasn't going. He was like, you going to save him anyway. Like, I'm not going over there, right? So he had his own understanding, right? And so he went on and got in a boat to go someplace else. And, you know, he got swallowed up by a whale. Some people think it's Leviathan. I don't know, but he got swallowed up by something, and he wasn't supposed to get swallowed up by it. He was supposed to be someplace else, right? So God had mercy on him, and then he was sent, you know, to Nineveh, and he actually went back on the right path, right? So God gave him the big slap, you know, like, no, he chastised him, made him go back on the right path, right? But he was leaning on his own reasoning. The prodigal son was just like, I want my inheritance now. He was impatient. So that's another reason why we don't obey, is from impatience. And that comes down to fear too, you know? I feel like it comes down to fear. Because if you're impatient, that means you don't have trust in the process, which means you fear that it's not going to come out a certain way, or a way that you want it. I find a lot of sin that we do boils down to fear. Fear is a big, I mean, I want to say it's a principality. Like it's a big thing, you know. If you can cast down fear in your life, you can avoid a lot of sin. You know, God gave us didn't give us a spirit of fear. It gave us a spirit of peace, power, love, and a sound mind, right? So we want to trade that in. And if we have power, love, and a sound mind, and a sound mind, let's repeat that. And a sound mind, that means our mind can be in a certain position where we're submitting it to God and making better decisions, right? We're not on the fear train, just we're putting our mind into a place where we can actually make decisions in alignment to God's will. So with all that being said, here's my story, or gist of it. So I, recently made a decision knowing it was outside of God, right? Got all the warnings. I got crazy warnings. Shouts to Pretty Boss TV, because one of her videos was like, there's going to be, somebody or something in your life, and you need to say no. You need to just drop it. I'm telling you, you're going to feel free. You haven't been able to sleep at night about it. I mean, she went down the bullet points. It was so on point that I had to stop watching it. I'm gonna put the link down there. It's like I was sitting at my computer. I was just like, be quiet, But here's the reason, and you guys are probably like, well, you've been walking with the Lord, Blair. You got these videos up. You seem to know and understand, how this Christian walk is, and I'm just being transparent. There was an idol left. And I didn't even realize that it was an idol until I came back, had the experience, and understood, okay, that was an idol. And that's the reason why I just lost it. You know what I mean? It's like, you knew it, but I'll explain it like this. Plan B was good for me, right? Plan B was good. It wasn't a bad plan. Wasn't gonna be a bad looking life. I was like, listen, I don't want plan A, because let's just say plan B was the island. I'm on a boat and I've been looking for the perfect place to live. I'm an explorer, and you're on a boat and you see this beautiful island right next to you. All you got to do is just set the sail, go to the island there. There's coconuts, there's plenty of provision. It's great, right? But then you take your telescope and you look out, and there's a better island, more provision, place you can build homes on, like everything you need. But that island is so far away. You can see it, you can just see it enough, but it's so far and you're tired, right? And you're just like, and now you're rationalizing, and now you're going in your understanding, which is what I did. I was like, I literally came to the Lord like it was a court case, like petitioning. I was just like, all right, God, threw down all my reasoning, my court case research, and was just like, okay, here we go. You see my heart. You see what I've been through. I can't. Let me have plan B. Let me have plan B. Please. I know plan A is better, and I hope I don't get emotional. Oh my God. I know plan A is better for me. I know you have these wonderful things. Jeremiah 29:11. I know I've been hearing warnings from my own heart, from friends, from family. Even my mother literally said, she said, I feel like this decision is going to take you off the path of the Lord. I was like, well, you're over exaggerating, but apparently she wasn't. But I was saying to God, I was just like, I can't, I'm tired. I know that's going to require a lot of energy from me, a lot of just holding on to the plow, keeping it straight. I can't. Let me just park my boat here, be happy, just have a beautiful life. That's it, right? So I kind of thought God would give it to me. I did. I kind of thought if I just like push my foot into the door and I kind of state my case and show God like, hey, this is if I kind of show the Lord like, hey, you know, this is great. Like he didn't know, like he didn't see that option. Like he can't see light years ahead of me, right? But this is where my head was at. This could be great. Let me tell you something. God is not a B plus God. He ain't a B minus B. He ain't an A minus. He's an A plus God. He will not tolerate anything less when it comes to his children. I was kooky enough to think that he was going to let me park my boat on Island B. So, long story short, I had to learn my lesson the hard way. He was graceful enough to let me keep my salvation. And I'll get into that. People say once saved, always saved. I don't know about that, because there's a lot of situations in the Bible where people start out in the Lord, like kings. They start out in the Lord and then they turn away. And God is like, you need to turn yourself back. And either they do or they don't. So you can have the argument that was that was before Jesus, after. Listen, my whole thing is this. Just keep yourself within the path, right? Keep yourself within the path. It's a more safe way of doing things. And from someone who has strong discernment, I'm going to tell you right now, it feels dangerous. It feels dangerous. I for the first time, I felt like my salvation was at risk. I put my salvation at risk. And it was not really about the details of what my decision was. It was the fact that it was off the path of God. I legit said, don't want it. Going this way. And what does he say? What is that? Rebellion? It's like witchcraft. Okay? I'm grateful to the Lord for his grace. I did this so you don't have to. If you are tempted to go off the path of the Lord, you know it's something it's something that you're not supposed to be doing, or a choice you're not supposed to be making, either a job you shouldn't be taking, a place you shouldn't be moving, someone you should not be with in your life, whether it's a friend, romantic. If it's something in your gut that you feel goes, like, and I mean like strong, like no, and you're getting confirmation that no, this is a big fat no, just let it go. You'll have peace. Let it go. Because believe it or not, when everything was all said and done, and as much as I felt like I had to emotionally pay for that decision, there was a little piece in me that felt peace, because I felt like I was back on the path of what God wanted. Now, did I pull a Job and was like, God, I told you, blah, blah, blah? Kind of, because I wasn't wrong. I wasn't, that's the thing, and that's how the enemy gets you. My rationalization wasn't wrong. I know that Island A is going to take a lot more from me, more dedication to get to, right? I wasn't wrong about that. But what it is that the Lord wants you to stay. We're going to hear New York today, y'all. I didn't put my headphones in and I don't have my mic on. So I hope, it's all right, because this is where I live. So if you can hear the ambulance, I'm sorry. But, so do what you can to stay in the path, because people of the Lord you're gonna get hit with high level temptations to get you off the path. It's gonna be good cards to play. I have to say, me falling off the path did almost cost me my salvation. I'm gonna stick that back in again, because it put my mindset in a place of hopelessness, right? And at that moment, I knew that was the ultimate goal of the enemy. That was the ultimate goal of the enemy, to put me in a mental state of hopelessness, so that he can ease in and show me his alternate ways of doing things. You see, what we think the situation is, at times, it's not really that. In my rationalization, it was something very much on the surface. The deep goal of the enemy was for me to lose my salvation through hopelessness. And when I realized that, I was just like, that was a good card. Not to give the enemy credit, but I had to say, I was like, ooh, I didn't see that one. And then I learned how serious this is, and how we do have to put in efforts. Because right now, we're in a place of, I believe we're in the great apostasy, that they talk about in 2 Thessalonians, so I'll read it. Now, brethren, concerning the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ and our gathering together to him, we ask you not to be soon shaken in mind or troubled, either by spirit or by word or by letter, as if from us, as though the day of Christ had come. Let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first, and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition. Right? There's also another verse. So it says, if you read further down in 2 Thessalonians, you should really, really read this, because this is the scariest verse in the Bible to me. Y'all ready? And for this reason, this is verse, so we're in chapter 2, verse 11. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Okay. So verse 11. And for this reason, God will send them strong delusion. Right? So he's saying, the son of perdition is going to come. Lawlessness will be revealed. The works of Satan is going to come in even stronger, right? And I've been feeling it. Okay. And it goes into this, what I'm saying. And for this reason, God will send them strong delusion, that they should believe the lie, that they all may be condemned who did not believe the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. I'm telling you, that's messed up. That's messed up. It's like, and the reason why to me this is the scariest verse in the Bible is because I feel like God, who is merciful, who's this amazing God, goes like this. All right, you don't want to believe me? That's cool. You don't want to, I sent my son. You want to go follow the other one? Cool. I'm going to let you go deeper. It says it here. God will send them strong delusion. So imagine if, based on my rebellion, if the Lord set strong delusion on me and I was not able to come back. Right? And take pleasure in unrighteousness. I'm going to just have a moment of silence for that. Listen, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. I just feel in this time, this is not the time to play anymore. We don't have that luxury. Do you know how much of a gamble I took? That was a gamble. That was a soul gamble. It was like a 50-50 shot. That's how I see it, and that's how I feel it. I'm thankful. I'm pretty sure I got out pretty clean, quote unquote, because there was consequence now. But I was able to come back into the will of the Lord from my own kooky prayers, prayers from family and people who are in my prayer camp. And God was just like, I feel like God was just like, okay, I'm going to make this a lesson instead of sending her deep into delusion. And therefore she can go play with her unrighteousness. Go have fun. So I'm going to wrap this up because this is pretty heavy and it should be heavy. I'm going to wrap this up. And if there's anyone who needs prayer, send me, a message in my inbox. I'll pray with you. If there's anyone who's just like on some, I'm tired of this Christian walk, I can't do this anymore, I want to tell you that you are in a quote unquote good space because apparently you've been working so hard to stay in it that your intentions are still good. Like, hold on to those intentions. Just make sure you're praying. I can pray with you because this is a time where we need to stay on the path, not only because it's what God wants us to do, but there is a reward. There is a great reward for it. Read Isaiah 60, Isaiah 61, and I'm not just pulling that from out of a hat anywhere. That I've heard that from people who I trust. My pastor at my church. I'll reference Pretty Boss TV. She's really good. I've heard that from her. I've literally bumped into a couple of verses in Isaiah 2 that was in relation to that. So again, always, that's another thing. Always test the spirits, as they say. Think about what I said, read the Bible, pray on it. There's a lot of falseness out there. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into it, but I'm concentrating on you and you staying in the path and you being obedient. I'm concentrating on my own obedience. We're all humans. We're all going to fall short. But if we fall short, let it not be because of rebellion. Let it be because of a legit mistake, so that we can go, oh, sorry, Lord. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm here, not be like, I'm tired, I'm throwing the towel. Like, no, we can't. This is not the time to do that. And the enemy is working real hard trying to make sure we're doing it. Anybody offering you any other way of worshiping God, that's a form. There's so many ways that the devil could come at you. Wherever your idol is, ask the Lord to reveal your idols as well. That's good, because right there, that's how the enemy is coming in. Do what you're idolizing, what you're putting before God. He's using it. He's throwing it in your face. You know what I mean? Like, it's like next level Monopoly for him right now. It's next level tactics, next level chess. All right. So be close to the Lord. the Lord knows the plans of the enemy, and the Lord can give you the heads up like, no, this is what it is. Ask him to reveal the truth. So again, I'm going to wrap this up. I don't want this video to be too long. DM me for prayer, comment, anything. If you have any questions, any topics about faith that you'd like to see me do a video about, if I can, if the Lord allows me, I will definitely put it out. So, or any other type video topics. So let me know how you feel about this one. Shoot me a like, subscribe, share this. Definitely share this one. Share this one. Share this one. Not for me, but for the cause, for God's kingdom. Share it, because this right here it might help someone not make a bad decision, and that's the reason why I'm posting this. So everyone, have a good day. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you soon.